So hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ames's Corner. How you all doing out there? So I think it's time for me to do a quick little review of my 74 Saab Sonett. I've had this car for 4 years now. When I got it, it was pretty bad, pretty rusted out, but I expected this car to last maybe a season, one summer, and then it was going to fall to pieces because it was just that rough. It was that rusty. I don't know if you guys have actually seen how bad this car was when I got it, but I'll probably link down in the description maybe the first video I ever made of this car. It was pretty rough. But here it is today, running strong. We had a little bit of an issue last week, but that ended up being nothing. Got some fresh rubber on it this season. Yeah, all fiberglass upper construction. Everything from the rocker panels up is fiberglass on this. So the rockers be steel, but everything up here is fiberglass. So these cars really, when they rot out, they don't rot out in the typical spots. Usually your wheel arches are real bad. The quarters back here get bad, but on a Sonett, it's not going anywhere. You could literally bury this car in the ground up to the door handles, and the fiberglass body won't go anywhere. I think we learned that with the lost Sonett up there. Apologize if you hear any wind noise. Mother Nature's been blowing on us pretty hard this year, so you might have a little wind noise, so I apologize. Now, the question I get asked the most about this car is it two-stroke? Well, no, it's a V4. The only Sonnets that were two-stroke were the Sonett 1 and some of the Sonett 2. Only about 250 of the Sonett 2s were two-stroke. Everything else had the Tonus V4, which is a 1.7 liter 4-cylinder engine. It's more like the way the firing order works, it's more like a splayed 4 than a split 4, a V4. But yeah, nice torquey little engine. They don't like to rev. They don't like to rev at all, but they make a lot of low-end power. And this one has its usual, you know, Fomoco carburetor. It's got the Bosch distributor, and whenever I go and get parts for this, like points or carburetor kit, at first the people, you know, you want a what for a what? And then I tell them it's a Ford motor. These parts, you probably have them in stock, and the look on their face when they hand me a carb kit or a set of points for this car, they didn't think they had it, but it's all just common Ford stuff. Probably the worst thing with this car right now is its electrical system. Now, those of you that had watched this car and my Saab 96 drive a month ago, this car here was giving some problems. It didn't want to crank over, it wanted to die on the road, it wouldn't rev at all. And on Saturday, I actually took a look at it, and the first time I really had a moment to, and the first thing I checked were the ignition points, and they were burnt. They had burnt up. They had a plastic the piece that pushes on the cam in the distributor is plastic, and it just wears out faster than the phenolic ones that they used to use. So I actually was able to go to the local parts store, and that's where that scenario where the guy's like, I'm not going to have anything for that. And I said, yeah, you got what I need. And he had sets of points right there for it. So I snapped a new set of points in this thing, and all its electrical gremlins disappeared. And you know, I've driven it to work. I drove it to Gloucester actually on Saturday. So another question I get a lot about this car when you guys see me do videos inside is you're always asking about the headliner. What's up with the headliner? Well, there is no headliner. There was this velour here. You can see it on the A-pillar a little bit. There was that glued to the ceiling, but moisture and time kind of loosened up the adhesive. So I pulled it down, and I'm left with this raw, this is just like a raw fiberglass. I actually put a little bit of orange paint to see how it would take paint. I didn't really like it, so I haven't really done anything with it. It's not really falling down. Like I said, this is just raw fiberglass. It's really no trouble at all. It's just kind of unsightly. Maybe I'm kind of toying with taking some latex paint and a roller or something real thick to just kind of cover it and you know, maybe black it out up there. Or I might just rattle can it. I don't really care at this point. The car it is what it is. Like I said, I didn't expect this car to last this long. And dash is in good shape. All the gauges work. All that works. It's got this radio in it, which is useless because the thing just sounds so awesome driving it that, you know, the sound system is up under the hood and the volume control is the gas pedal. A neat little shift knob. I think it's a lot of attention from the kids at car shows. People seem to like that. It fits the personality of the car. Switches are hard to get. This is the running lights. It's just a toggle switch. Headlights are actually, this is the factory switch, but it wants to fall apart. Like I said, the electrical system in this car is a disaster, but it works. I can get it to work if it doesn't, so, you know, I got other problems to deal with. Got the late model Saab Griffin emblem. I kind of like that there. The heat in this car is non-existent. I've never been able to get the blower fan to work, and in order to get to the blower fan, I got to pull the whole nose of the car off. The whole front of the car has to come off to get to the blower fan, so yeah, it is what it is. So then the battery's in the trunk. I'm not going to bother opening it. You guys can see the spare tire and the battery in the trunk. Oh, another thing you guys may be interested in, I got my decals. I got my stickers. Look at that. I like that, huh? How do you guys think of that? So I'm going to make those available probably through my Facebook group. I have an Amesey's Automotive Corner Facebook group. I'll leave a link down in the description of this video. You guys want to join my Facebook group, and I'll be able to get some stickers out to you guys. So it is what it is. So why don't we get this thing, get this thing in, up on the lift. Let's look under it. I'll show you what worries me about this car, and we'll take a look at the state of it today. I haven't had it on the lift in a little while, so I'm kind of curious to see how the New Hampshire oil undercoating I did on this car last fall held up over the winter. So yeah. Well, first off, you know what we should do first off? Why don't we get a little exhaust note? I love the sound of it. Love the sound of it. Nice. All right, so let's get this thing in. Let's get it up on the lift, and let's go for a road test. Let's start at the back of this car and work our way forward. So, like I was saying, the reason it sounds like it does is it has resonators for mufflers. They're pretty worn out. I think I might get another month or so out of them. This one here, you can see, is getting a little bit holy around the edges and in the middle, and yeah. So another question I get is, why do my tailpipes point at this funky angle? Why are they both that way? I think the reason is whoever ordered these pipes ordered two of the same part number. And if you look, there's a hanger built into them that has to face up. That used to mount to the trunk used to come down, but I changed it to a different system. And in order to get both of those up there, the pipe's going to come at a funny angle. I think maybe these were meant to go, one goes this way and the other one was another part number, which would go upside down, so it went the other way. But yeah, they both go at a funny angle. It's kind of part of the character of the car, I guess. These here used to be holes to mount the US spec bumpers, these big ugly bumpers that would have stuck out about this far. Totally changed the look of the car. But all it is now is just two holes to nothing. So I think what I'm going to do is get two Flowmaster mufflers to tuck up into this area. That's kind of why I raised the trunk about 6 inches. And then I'm going to have the exhaust tips poke out from the holes that used to mount the bumper. I know I've been saying this for years, but one of these days I'll get around to it. I've just been waiting for these things to rot out. Otherwise, from here up is all stainless. This is a full stainless up to here. These are actual stainless resonators, and those are resonator mufflers. There's really no muffler on the car. We can see all the metal work I did, all the new floors. You know, it is what it is. It's a little punky. I think, where is it? Over here. Yeah, this side here, we got a little punky to deal with. You know, up around this suspension mount was looking better a few years ago. It's looking kind of rough right now. The rockers are all right on this side. This right side, it's been patched up a bunch. This left side had a patch that's fallen through. Yeah, right there. I gotta fix that. So we got some metal work on this car to do. Looks like the undercoating, I don't know if it picks up on camera, but the New Hampshire oil undercoating still working, still on there. That lasted the winter. And it looks like it got some of the road dust embedded into it, which actually helps a lot to keep it there. So yeah, all in all, I'm happy with the New Hampshire oil undercoating. If it held on to this rusty old car, it's gonna hold on to your daily driver. And then we have the usual, you know, it's an old car, it's a leaking oil. You know, if they say if a European car isn't leaking oil, you're out of oil. I'm not real worried about it, not real worried at all. Maybe one of these days we'll get a front main seal in there and maybe reseal the oil pan when it's time to do the clutch. See, my water pump's leaking a little bit. That's news. That's news to me. Real flat bottoms on these cars, which is why the 96s were decent rally cars, because there was nothing to hang up on anything. But all in all, not too bad. We got a little metal work to get done on it, but yeah, we got the new rubber, new tires. We put these tires on when I picked up the Saab 96. The day we picked up the 96, I came into the shop after we got it and took the tires that were on this car, the Michelins, put them on the steel wheels that are on the 96. Got some new rubber for this. So I figure even if the Sonett doesn't hold together and was to break in half, I'm still going to keep these soccer ball wheels to go on the 96 because they fit right on it. And we need to use these lug nuts. That was a lesson we learned. But I figure putting some fresh rubber on these soccer ball wheels was a good investment, and I stand behind it. So yeah, that's about it under here. Not really much going on. Brakes and suspension all looking good. You know, neat double A-arm front suspension. These things handle great. So anyways, yeah, why don't we get this thing down? We set up a camera inside and let's do my favorite part of the review. Let's go for a road test. Now, it feels weird to say that a 40-year-old Saab Sonett is the most reliable car I've owned, and it's never left me stranded. It's never stopped running in a way that I couldn't get it to run. And honestly, a month ago when we had Andy Hutzel come and he drove this car, that was the first time I ever had any problem with this car. It ended up just being the ignition points, which just shorten out the system. No speed demon. It's no speed demon. It is faster or quicker than a stock Mazda Miata. So yeah, I'm just gonna make a quick errand. I got something to show you guys. Why don't you guys hang out here for a second? I'm actually here at the graphics place. How awesome is that? How cool is that? They're aluminum plates. These are expensive though. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. Those aren't really going to be totally available yet. I kind of got a plan for those. All right, back to the review. Nice and tight turning radius. So yeah, like I was saying, the Sonett makes a lot of low-end torque. And a lot of real cool noise, huh? And this has the freewheeling transmission. I'm actually in freewheel right now. And I think having the freewheel active in this car is better for the car itself. Less backlash on the control arms, having to slow the car down. I just do it real gently with the brakes. But like I was saying, I didn't expect this car to last more than one summer. And here we are 4 summers in. Still drive down the road with my hands off the wheel. Really neutral handling. Really neutral for such an old car. Not a lot of body roll considering there aren't sway bars. It's no slouch. In traffic. So it's only got just under 13,000 original miles, which I think goes a long way into explaining why this car has been so reliable, why it's worked out so well for me, is that it was never got a chance to get worn out. It just got bought, driven a little bit, and then just sat in the yard, which is really the worst thing you can do to a car, is just let them sit. As you guys saw with the 96, that car was a really good running car, and then just sitting in one spot, it rotted the rockers out, you know. So another question I get a lot is, does the car go on the highway? Well, of course it does. I mean, why wouldn't it? So why don't we go out on the freeway, get it up to speed. So I'm in fourth, in gear, my foot's off the clutch and we're coasting, no engine braking. If I want to engage the transmission, I just give it gas, and away we go. Let's cut some apexes, shall we? Braking. Corners like a Miata. Nice, nice. So yeah, that's my '74 Saab Sonett. And on that note, until next time, keep it out of the cabbage.